It's Greg and Joel Fix the World. Because if you haven't heard, guys don't hang out anymore, they start a podcast. While they're at it, they're fixing the world and solving every problem you've ever had. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to Greg and Joel Fix the World. I am Joel.
I'm Greg.
And we're happy to have you here today. Greg, today's my turn to ask you a question that you don't know.
Okay.
And that's what we do here. We ask each other questions. The other person doesn't know the question ahead of time, and then we discuss.
And we're hoping that the ensuing conversation helps fix the world. That's right.
Today's question. Now, we belabor the point on this podcast that we're men of a certain age, blah, blah, blah. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
You are a man of a certain age.
So are you, man.
I am. I want you to go back in time a little bit in your mind to your younger self and talk to that young Greg. And what things would you teach him or talk to him about that you now have experience with that you can help yourself with? So, it's like regrets, things you could do for yourself, anything.
So when you asked me that, two ideas popped into my head at exactly the same time.
Yeah.
And one of them I only learned later in life, so it almost cancels it out, because the first thing is work harder in school. Don't get yourself into this position where you kind of get a degree that's in arts, which is what I did, and then I'm like looking for jobs and, just kind of, it's a struggle, and I'm getting jobs, but everything's a hustle. Like,
what is your degree? What did you study?
Communication, arts communication, just a basic Bachelor of Arts. And
I got a BA in poli-sci. So.
Yeah, similar.
I did do my master's, etc. But anyway.
Oh, well, look at you.
I know.
Look at you. I'm not sure I knew you had a master's.
I am better than you.
Wow.
So anyway.
We'll see. We'll let them decide.
Yeah, you could decide.
Yeah. So my dad used to say, become a professional. Become a doctor. So I thought, I should become an orthodontist. But that would have required an intense amount of work and really kind of punishing my brain in ways that it just didn't want to be punished.
Yeah.
But the later part of me that I learned is that would have been a mistake to try to do that because it wasn't me. And also
which it wasn't you being a getting a profession?
Just that whole thought that if I just decided to do that and I had more discipline and I was a better student and a better person, that I could have done that.
Better person?
Yeah, well, just the kind of person who could sit down with myself and say, self, I know you don't want to study math for 6 hours a day and science for 6 hours a day, and this whole organic chemistry thing is like a total mystery to you, but self, you have to sit down and work through it and have the discipline and force yourself, and if it takes you 10 hours and it only takes other people 2, then that's you going the extra mile. Right? That's the message I had for myself.
Right.
But later on in life, I kind of came to appreciate that the whole idea of meritocracy is a bit of a sham, because you kind of don't earn your talents. Like, you're kind of lucky to have the talents you have, and perhaps, like, I am no, I would never hold it against myself that I wasn't born, I didn't grow to 7.5 feet tall and get to play in the NBA.
Right.
I don't think of that as a personal failure. I see that that's outside my control. But somehow there's a voice in my head that says, well, it is a personal failure that I didn't become a doctor. Because, well, I could have, technically, right? Like, there's...
Yes.
Everybody kind of starts off as babies and we're born and we all go to kindergarten, we all go to school, and some kids are kind of studying harder and doing more work. But I know it's not true, because if I know people who became doctors, and I've known some of them in elementary school, and they were just wired from really early that they were just top of the class. I'm not taking it away that they worked hard, but they just had something that I didn't, just like people who are 7 feet tall have something that I don't.
For sure, genetics plays a role in these things. And, your environment. I always think about Eddie Van Halen, arguably one of the greatest guitar players to ever live, and his son, Wolfgang Van Halen.
Yeah.
If you've ever watched him or heard him,
I have.
He's as good.
Yeah.
He has a band, but he plays every instrument in the band. I mean, it's genetics. Like that
Yeah.
guy won the lottery,
Yeah.
you know? So it does happen that way.
Yeah, so like meritocracy, right? Like, did he work and put in tons of hours? I'm sure he did.
Of course.
Did he have a genetic gift that's many people would put in the same amount of hours and get
course.
nowhere near his
Yeah.
talent? Of course.
Yeah.
So to answer your question of what I would say to younger self, I would say work harder, but also take away that shame that you're about to carry for the rest of your life because you're not working harder. Because it's not you. It's just not you to do that. And it's not saying to be lazy. I'm not, but even that's not your fault. Like, I think if somebody's
work hard at being lazy.
just accept that you can't necessarily be everything you don't believe that they say you could be anything you want, because it's kind of true, but it's not really true.
Yeah. So you
know what I'm saying?
So, but did you, when you were younger, did you still think, yes, I can be whatever I want, I'm just not working hard
Yeah,
enough?
I thought it's within my power, but I'm a failure for not
And
doing
now
it.
you believe that.
Now I know that was a lie, but it took me a long time. Like, I felt like a failure for a long time. Even when and I would tell, friends this. It's like, Greg, why do you think you're a failure? Like, you have a wife, you have beautiful kids, you live in a house. From the outside, I
Right.
had what would look successful, but in my mind, I wasn't an orthodontist. So I was a failure. I failed.
Was there a pressure somewhere that was telling you that too? Like outside, not your own internal brain.
I can't even say I had one of those families. Like, it's not like my parents were orthodontists and said, you have to follow in our footsteps. It was just that message, become a professional
Yeah.
so that you hold your own destiny. And I never did. And when school got really hard, I ended up going to the subjects that were easy for me, like
Yeah.
writing and stuff like that. And I ended up doing a communications degree, which I would not advise is a wise use of money nowadays.
That and a subway token gets you on a subway.
Yeah, and $2 you might get a coffee on
Yeah.
the subway too. Yeah.
There's no more tokens, by the way, but anyway.
Right, you can pay with your credit card
Yeah.
now. You just tap your credit card. You don't
Yeah.
even need their fancy bus pass
Yeah.
thing. You just any credit card, which is good. Yeah,
So is that the only thing you would tell your younger self?
so I would tell my younger self.
You can't be whatever you want to be?
You know what? It probably would have taken off the pressure, and I might have even been more because I would have told myself, it's not your fault if you're not these things that you think you're supposed to be. But don't let that stop you from trying. And if you do try and you do fail, you don't have to feel like a failure. There's a difference between failing at the thing and being a failure as a person because you just don't have it in you to do it.
Yes.
And then don't compare yourself to other people who did it. Just like you shouldn't compare yourself to the guy who's 7 feet tall
Yeah.
playing basketball because you would not hold yourself responsible for not being 7 feet tall. Right? We don't earn our gifts. We don't deserve our talents, and we don't deserve. Deserve's the wrong word. We've done nothing to earn our talents, and we've done nothing to earn our shortcomings. By the same token, that's what I think.
But do you think there are methods or tools or habits you can form to alter that, to not just resign yourself to certain things? Like, you don't have to resign yourself to everything. Well, I have no talent. I will never get talent.
Yeah.
I guess I'm done.
Yeah. I'm not saying just kick back and say, there's no point in trying anything. But even Garry Kasparov, arguably one of the very best, not arguably, definitely one of the best, very best chess players, possibly the best. There's a few. Magnus Carlsen, of course, Paul Charles Morphy. But he said that to be a chess prodigy, you have to be born with the gift, but you also have to work very hard. But he also specified that the ability to work very hard is also a talent that you have to be born with.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's counter to everything I thought, because I thought it's our responsibility to just push ourselves, to do it, to force our way through it, to just do whatever it takes, because that's what I thought success was. I thought all these people who became successful, they had this discipline that I didn't, and therefore they were successful people, and I was a failure inside. So I would tell myself, Greg, going back, get that story out of your head. Do your best. Try different things. If being whatever your parents suggested is the thing to be doesn't make sense to you, then you don't have to do that thing. You can do something, and it's going to be fine. Whatever you want to do, go with your strengths.
Yeah.
Don't fight against your weaknesses. You're just going to make yourself miserable. So that's what I would tell my younger self. Don't fight against yourself in ways that you're going against what you are, the talents you have, You're going to lose that battle, and you're going to feel like shit about yourself for years.
Yeah.
Don't do that, Greg. Don't go through life feeling like shit about yourself for years. That's what I would tell my younger self.
That's a great
Yeah.
lesson to tell yourself. I have not a not dissimilar thought in my head.
Do say.
It's actually you didn't start off that way, but you kind of came around at the end to where I would tell myself, don't fall into pressures. Like my parents also, become a professional. You don't have to do it, but it's a fallback if if the other thing doesn't work out. But I love film and arts and the creative endeavors. I really wish I had just done something like that, which pleased me.
Yeah.
Instead of studying some basic liberal arts degree.
You were going to say bullshit. I saw it.
I wasn't.
Okay.
I was going to say bachelor. I don't know what I was going to say.
All right. Sorry.
Yeah. So I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew things I liked and didn't like, but I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up.
Yeah.
And I didn't allow myself the leeway to try things that are out of the box. So like, you grow up in a certain kind of home. It's like, I have a brother who's a dentist. I have a brother who's a lawyer. My sister became a teacher.
Yeah.
It was expected, in air quotes, if you can't see me, that...
And you were the youngest, right? So this all happened before you?
I'm the youngest.
Yeah.
And so, so there was like a kind of an expectation already that, well, all these other people did these things. And I tried doing the exams for law school. That was a no-go. Mm-hmm. I was studying liberal arts. I tried journalism as a hobby in school, and then I ended up becoming a journalist. But even then, it's like a journalist in financial services. I didn't love what I was doing. It wasn't creative. It wasn't anything. It allowed me to move to a different city and sort of have different experiences, but I didn't really follow any kind of passion or things that my heart told me to do. So that's what I would tell myself is try the thing you love, or, discover that. Don't just fall into something right away.
Yeah. And, you didn't choose the fact that you like the arts. It chose you.
I guess, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I've learned the older I get. Like, we don't choose our beliefs. We don't choose our talents. We don't choose our skills. I mean, we work them, but we have a seed, and it's there, and it kind of chooses us. And if we're working against that because we think we're supposed to, it's going to lead to a bit of misery and shame and self-loathing.
But I think if you can't tell your younger self you don't choose the things you like. Like, I don't know if that would have...
Well, let me think.
If someone would have come to you, any random
Well,
person,
did I know the guy? Like in a park, some old guy comes up to...
Either that...
Yeah.
You're not choosing what I'm about to do to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
If someone you knew and loved and trusted, let's say, and they came to you and said, "Greg, you're not going to choose the things you love." Yeah. I don't know that you would have at a younger age accepted that. You would have said, "No, God damn it, I am choosing communications.
I choose what I love. I choose the flavors I like.
Yeah.
I choose what interests me. I choose what makes me laugh." Yeah, I guess as a kid, that wouldn't have made sense. Maybe it's the kind of thing you can only get when through learning, doing it the wrong way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would have told my younger self to also, like, don't be regretful of as many things as...
Oh my God. Is that even possible to just choose? I mean, I'd love the recipe for that. Like, don't be regretful. Don't beat yourself up, because regret that's all it is. It's an inner voice that just craps on you, right?
Yeah. Same thing with jealousy and things like that.
Yeah.
But obviously these are emotions that are hard to fight off.
Yeah.
But it is something I would try and tell myself.
It would have been good to go through life starting with the premise that you're going to have an inner voice that's wanting to get you down, and just notice it early,
right,
and develop a strategy early,
right,
so you don't spend decades believing it.
Right.
Yeah, that would be good. And I recommend, I don't give advice, but I'm going to break my rule. If there are kids in your life, tell them to give themselves grace and not to beat themselves up for things that are beyond their control.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
And things that really just don't matter that much.
Well, what does matter? What actually does matter? Like...
I don't know. I mean...
that's yes, you can do career A or career B. Do the one that fits,
Yeah. As long as you're not harming or stealing from people.
Yeah, like a lot of what we beat ourselves up about doesn't matter.
Anything else you would tell your younger self?
Yeah, I guess it's what so I do a lot of volunteer work, and it's like these words I just used a second ago is give yourself grace.
Mm-hmm.
I would have said, remember to give yourself grace, because Greg, you're going to be a guy who somehow learns to remind other people to give themselves grace, but you're never going to get that damn message yourself. So I'm just learning it.
Are you doing it now?
Yeah, it's conscious that I've had to like remind myself.
Is it difficult?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why, because it's effortless for me to see that other people deserve grace from themselves. But I think it's pretty common that we see in other people what's hardest to see in ourselves.
Oh, we're always hardest on ourselves.
Right? Like,
for
so
sure.
How are you with giving yourself grace?
Oh, terrible.
And what's that about?
Terrible. Why is you're asking?
I didn't say why, because just what's that about? Okay, why?
The answer is I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, does anybody know why they beat themselves up? But I do not a lot of comparing, but I compare sometimes, like, oh, that guy, is at that level,
Yeah.
and I'm only at this level.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do that comparison thing, and that's a whole downward spiral.
Yeah. And what level are you talking about? Like making more money, more adoration, more respect, more notoriety, more
Sure, yes.
fame, more anything, just more stuff? More of the things?
Yeah.
More things?
I have plenty of things.
Yeah.
I can't complain. There's not a thing in my life I can complain about.
Yeah.
It is.
Do you know how many people would look at your life and think that guy's got the things?
Yes.
I'm going to compare myself to that guy, and I'm going to feel bad about myself because he's got the things.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel better.
You're welcome.
The inner voice, you can't help it. I listen to a lot of like comedians, other podcasts like that.
Yeah.
I was listening to Conan O'Brien.
Yeah.
Conan O'Brien was, and he's talked about this with other comedians. They'll go on YouTube of one of their own videos. They go down to the comments,
Yeah.
and they see 400 amazing positive comments and one negative one.
Yes.
And that's all they think about for the rest of the week.
Yes, that's actually a thing. It's called the negativity bias. We will zero in on the one,
So that's what I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I can't complain. I have a good life, thank goodness, and I'm happy about that. I really am. And I try, as I get older, I really try to recognize that and be mindful of that in the moment. You know, not stress the small stuff.
But it's amazing that it's not easy, right? It takes an effort.
It's still not easy.
Right? Like if you look around, like we have it good. We don't have to worry about our next meal.
Yeah.
Right? Like we have some basics that lots of people in the world would be happy to not have to worry about their next meal or just basic stuff.
Even this, we have a social connection to people.
Yeah.
You know.
We're humans, we talk, we have a place to sit, we have a roof. You got a really cool room here.
Yeah.
And yet it's a reminder, sometimes it's a reminder like, I shouldn't be unhappy. I should appreciate. And I wish I knew why that was so hard. Why wasn't it automatic?
So that's something you got to tell your younger self.
Yeah.
Like figure out what you would tell your younger self and then try and live that. I think that's the homework.
Yeah. And I would also tell my younger self, even though I don't think it could work as a youngster, but to develop sort of a meditation type practice to become very acutely aware of your own thoughts and how they're influencing you. The story you're telling, which is kind of what we touched on, like regret, shame. This is a story. It's just a story.
Yeah.
And if you can start that habit early of recognizing when you're telling yourself a story that craps on yourself, tell a better story. Fix that story. If you fix the story, it sounds like a cliche, but I want to say it anyway. If you fix the story, you fix your life.
Yeah.
I hate cliches, but this one happens to be true. Like if you do fix the story, like I think the number one predictor of, not predictor, just the factor that really will say how good our life is our relationship to our own thoughts.
Yeah.
Really. Which is so simple.
And the most difficult thing.
Yet it's so really hard and difficult, and it's a constant because we spend our life lost in thought. Like we're thinking without knowing we're thinking, right? And we're just in the story of stuff, and it's like, no, I can just realize that those thoughts are just, they're thoughts. It's not reality, and I don't have to engage it. If I have a voice telling me, Greg, you suck because you didn't become an orthodontist, I could recognize that's just a story.
Yeah.
I don't have to believe it. I've been choosing, or I've just been in the habit of believing it for years, but once I recognized it, I saw it, and it lost a lot of its power, but still a work in progress.
It's almost like an advertising cliche where there used to be the show Mad Men, if you ever watched that.
But I did, and I loved it.
They would talk about, if you don't like what's being said, change the conversation. It's similar to what you're saying.
Yeah. The conversation we have with ourselves that we don't even know we're having is the most significant conversation, I think, of our lives. Whew, that's deep.
You can try, I was at a wellness retreat recently.
Yeah.
And I sat in a class about mantras, having your own mantra. Now, me being me, I was kind of joking with my girlfriend about it because they said, you pick a mantra, and they had a list, and one of the ones on the list was, I seek peace and calm. And I turned to my girlfriend and said, "Can I add 'God damn it' at the end?" Like, I'm always.
Why did it make you uncomfortable? Was it getting a little too real, Joel?
No, but the point is, I think we all have them without knowing them. In the movie, the one with Tom Hanks, where he's on an island.
And the ball, Wilson.
Yeah,
Castaway.
Castaway. Thank you.
Yeah.
When he's finally rescued, he's worried about the girlfriend that he left behind and all this, and he says to himself, "The sun will rise. Tomorrow the sun will rise." And that's kind of a mantra I've had in my head since that movie. I never thought of it as a mantra, but
yeah,
I think that tomorrow the sun will rise. It's just it will be fine. We solved it.
I think so.
We solved the world. We fixed the world's problem.
Tomorrow the sun will rise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should leave it there.
I think so.
Okay.
Well, thank you. This is good. And thank you all. We'll see you soon.
Take care.